Sorry about that, guys. As you guys know, I went to a MacBook Pro. So it was my first live since I've got this MacBook Pro. I've been doing a lot of work, but this is the first time I went live with it, and so I had to set up the camera, the mic. It was not a good morning. I am so sorry for starting so late, but as required to be part of the Bullhorn Coffee Club, I do have coffee in hand. Of course, you can use tea. I am so sorry, guys. Many of you guys know I went to a political event and I wasn't going to be. I was going to be out of pocket. I was going to try to go live yesterday, but I had an opportunity to meet with Paola Miranda's sister for an interview hours away from my home. I opted, instead of going live, to actually go meet with her to see how we can help, to get some information, to bring you guys the interview from her. So we're just going to wait here while we allow more people to come in. I'm sorry that the coffee club has been a little scattered, but I do, I have a lot of stuff that I'm doing. We travel. I'm very rarely in Florida. When I'm in Florida, I go live. If I can go live when I'm out there in the field, I will go live out there in the field. But we do a lot of work. I'm not glued to the seat, unfortunately. As many of you guys know, I'm always on the run. I'm trying to get some things pulled up here. Not quite sure how I'm going to work this today, so just please bear with me. It's been a little insane, to say the least. Just trying to find, there we go. I'm still trying to figure out how to work this computer. So, why is this not coming up? Open. Again, it's still having some technical difficulties. Open new window. Oops. No, I don't want a private window. So you guys are going to be with me today as we have fun playing around with this. That's all I can say. So we're going to go to YouTube, and I'm going to share. Let me see if I can get the volume off this real quick. Hold on. Okay. So I'm going to share this screen, and then I'm going to pull it back. I got to do that in order to bring some stuff to you, and then we'll get started. So open preference. I like to record your screen. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Record my screen. I wonder why it's not. All right, we'll see how this works. This is going to kind of stink a little bit. I don't know. Chrome lost the following permissions. Follow these steps. Golly. Getting so tired of this. It's not allowing me to. We'll have to see how these site settings go. Well, I might be able to share my screen. I might not be able to. So we'll just play it by ear. Sorry about all this craziness. I am, like I said, I have all these things going on that I'm trying to do. It's not allowing me to do it on the new computer. I've got to figure out how to get this done. And hopefully we will be able to get permission set up to share. It's not allowing me to share my screen. So I'm not sure what to do. Follow these steps. Anyways, we're just going to go on with it. So as many of you guys know, Jonathan has been reporting a lot of stuff. He's been adding some videos and everything to his site at Jonathan. He's on YouTube at Jonathan Lee Riches, a.k.a. JLR. A couple of the things that he reported, now everybody's reporting, is the fact that Don was on let's go on this one. Don was on his on YouTube. I don't know whose YouTube, but he was somewhere. He was on somebody's YouTube and said he wasn't, because of all the hate, yada yada yada, because of all the hate with the YouTubers and this, that, and the other. He's not going to go to North Carolina for Summer Wells' birthday. And I thought it was funny because, he is on probation, folks. Like he was found guilty of some crimes back in October 14th, 2020. We reported that here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. And we went through his entire case. We went through his entire case of what all he has done at his, at that house on 110 Ben Hill Road. And, he's on probation, and then he violated probation with this DUI. And now, shortly thereafter I guess before that, Summer disappeared. And then shortly thereafter, he got his DUI. He's saying he can't go, it's this, it's that, it's the other. We'll come to find out, Jonathan actually picked up the phone, reached out to his probation officer. Many of you guys know when we went and visited Rogersville, Tennessee in Hawkins County, we actually paid a visit to his probation officer. His probation officer seemed like he's only got one violation of probation. He's fine with the one violation of probation, even though he knows that Don Wells is doing all this other stuff. He's not going to violate him again. If we want him to violate, we need to go to the state attorney and file a report. That's the most insane, asinine thing I have ever heard a probation officer say. It shows me he doesn't really give a damn about his job. That if he were to hold everyone accountable for their actions, their jail would be filled up, is basically how it was explained to us. Just saying. So, and yeah, no, it wasn't the cops. Well, I'm sure the cops said he can't leave the state, but his probation officer said he would not approve any requests, because how it works is that, you can get requests from your probation officer to leave the state, but due to the circumstances, he will not approve anything for him to leave the state. So Don cannot go to North Carolina. Cops won't let him leave the state, but neither will his probation officer. And the cops might let him. I don't know. I think it's, obviously when you got cops telling you as a parent, especially if they didn't think you had anything to do with your child's disappearance, they wouldn't care whether you left the state. Just saying, they wouldn't care. So, and I can tell you that he's got the upcoming, he's got the upcoming hearing. He's got the upcoming hearing. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's on, what day is it? February 7th, right? Or was it February 7th or February 4th is Summer's birthday. So it's the 7th at 1 p.m. Hawkins County. Don Wells will be facing the judge he should have faced back when he was brought before him for this, for his violation of probation. Many of you guys were a part of that mailing campaign. So I want to tell you, when we went to the state attorney's office, they heard us loud and clear. If they heard us loud and clear, I'm pretty sure the judge heard us loud and clear. I'm just saying, I don't know how many pieces of paper they got, but I can tell you it was an awful lot. It was an awful lot. Us with that whole mail campaign, how dangerous Don Wells is. He needs to have the book thrown at him. I'm going to give the attorney there, or the judge there, the benefit of the doubt, because he was not the one that allowed him to stay out of jail during this time. It was a judge that was in his place because he was out of town. So this is the first time Don Wells is going to be before this judge, the judge that he was supposed to be in front of at the beginning. So we will see how that all works. Thank you, ICU. I want to tell you guys, I think it's amazing to be back here. I'm not going anywhere, folks. I really am not going anywhere. I know when we started out this journey, I was on lives literally every day. As we expand, as we take on more cases, I have to be out there in the field. Not every time I'm in the field can I go live. Not every time in the field do I have access to go live. Some of the places I go, and some of the places we go, we don't want to go live for safety reasons because we're doing work incognito. We don't want anybody knowing what we're up to, where we're at, what we're doing. We can't. And the reason why I'm expressing this today is because a member reached out to me and was like, "Hey, you're where are you? You're not going live. You haven't gone live in a week," which I have never not gone live in a week. 4 days has been my top for not going live, and it was this one here. The last time I didn't go live, when the team asked me to just to step away for the 72 hours, I did, and that was only the 72 hours. So. Um, Well, that's foolish because he's not allowed to have a gun. And if you guys recall, when he was on the interview with me, he was talking about how he had to have, the front muzzle loader. I don't know what it is, but black powder gun, and he's allowed to have a black powder gun. And I'm thinking, when you're a felon, you should not be owning any gun. What's the purpose of saying that you can't? Well, we got to defend ourselves in front of, if there was wildlife. Well, you should have thought about that before you broke the law. You should have thought about that before you became a convicted felon. Sorry, use a sword, use a bat. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. Oh, yes, I had to go through that once. I know. I went through the same issue, but it wasn't all day. I just had to refresh it, and then I was able to get to the payment, and then I refreshed it. I didn't go back out or move it backwards and move it forward. I actually just refreshed it. I don't know. Maybe if I don't know what um, the search engine you're using. I use Chrome. I don't know. I'm just now like, this is an Apple, a Mac computer. So this is, I don't know. And I'm having issues because Safari won't support certain things. So I had to download, the Chrome app. And so I'm just now learning. I've never used a MacBook Pro before. So I honestly, truth teller, I don't know. I'm not the most techie person in the world. I don't know how to help you. If somebody can help her, that would be can help. I see you. What do you mean? Hold on. Let's go down. Feels like forever. Da, 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 da. Okay, wait. Did you hear about him threatening the bikers by having a gun under his bed? Ellie wouldn't do anything. Said felons having firearm isn't enough to go out there. What is wrong with this county? There's a child missing that these parents most likely did something to, and these officers are playing around. That is sick. You know what? All I can say is Hawken County. I know I got a lot of residents that come in here and watch this show, and all I can say is do better. Like, this is nonsense. And you know what? You are not safe with Ronnie Lawson as your sheriff if this is what you're getting. Seriously, seriously, that is insane. That is insane. OMG. Oh my gosh. Oh, don't I get you. I get you. Trust me, it's annoying for me too. And I have ordered stuff on that site. So let me see what I can do to help to find out what operating system, not operating system, your search engine system, Chrome, Firefox, Safari. I don't know, and I'll see if I can try to look up and see if I can find a way to help you. I don't know. I'll figure it out though. I know. That is crazy. That is crazy. Not worth their time going out there. I've got to show you a video. Many of you guys know I did go out and speak to Andrea Miranda, which is Paola's Miranda Rosa's sister. And you know, it's very upsetting hearing her story, hearing about law enforcement, hearing about how they've treated her case. And, you know, people are always saying, you know, we need to leave it to law enforcement. We need to leave it to law enforcement. Believe it or not, she was one of those people. You've got to hear her story. I uploaded it yesterday. It took literally 5 hours to upload 1 hour video. Don't ask me why. I should have just probably deleted it and waited until I got home to upload it, but I didn't. So I behoove everybody to go over there and watch that entire interview. It was really good. I'm going to show a portion of that on here if I can get it to work. You know, this new computer, I've just got to play around with it until I can figure out where all the permissions are. I thought I had everything set up for this morning to go smoothly, and clearly I did not. I can't even share my screen. So I've got a lot of stuff that I wanted to show you and play for you that I can't seem to get to work on this computer right now because permissions aren't allowing me to have. I don't know where the frickin' permissions are on this stupid computer. Safari. It's irritating. So I'm just never going to be able to show the stupid computer or the screen. I know. And Olivia was supposed to come over and help, and I just have not had an opportunity to see her. I can't. Why does I have to go through all these stupid freaking permissions to get this stupid computer to work? Just don't get it. Shouldn't have to go through it. Shouldn't take a freaking rocket scientist to figure out how to work a computer. I can't even get back to the one. Shoot. Sorry, guys. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I hope I didn't just lose you guys. Oh, my gosh. I don't know where anything is. Oh, my gosh. All right. Let's see what I got going on here. Why can't I move this from one side to the other? This is irritating me. All right, let's just go back. And I'm back. I just can't figure this out for the life of me. I really just truly cannot. Olivia, I need your help. I literally need you here today. I need you to tell me how to share my screen. Let me see if I can go on my other computer and just at least get it loaded up so I can show you my screen. That would be majorly awesome. I really do have a lot of stuff and I don't even know how to get to it from this computer. She's got to show me everything. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I just don't. Probably not a good day to go live from a brand new computer that you've never used before. Yeah, it's sad that they have the they're not going out there. They don't take these threats seriously. I mean, that's horrible. That really is horrible. So let me see if I can share my screen on my phone, maybe. I mean, I got some things to show you guys on my phone too. No StreamYard? Everything has gotten so screwed up. I swear to God, I don't know what the hell is going. Oh, sorry. Don't mean to cuss. I don't know what the heck is going on. Okay, so I don't care where we stay, Olivia. Okay, you did book it. Okay. Good. Guys, please go over there and watch Paola Miranda's sister's interview. It's really good. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get StreamYard. I don't know what's going on with my phone. Even my phone, I have these things set up. Those were all gone. So I'm going to try to enter the broadcast. Bear with me. If I can, I'm going to show you some stuff on my phone. So enter studio. Yes. Let me turn the camera. We're going to mute. There I am again. And let's see if I can share my screens. Settings. It's not going to allow me to share my screen, is it? This is so irritating. Oops, I don't want to end. I just want to leave. Well, guys, I just don't know what to do. I can't share anything. I'm almost really, like, literally ready to just shut this down because it's that irritating for me. Pen's required here. I'm typing my frickin' pen in. You have got to be joking me. I'm irritated right now. I'm super, super irritated. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just go through some of the stuff with you. I mean, I'm absolutely, utterly irritated at this point that I cannot see this. So, and a couple things that I did notice is that we do have the summer wells still missing sign up. You know, here we are on month 8, and now that billboard is up and is showing her missing. Now, if you guys recall, somebody, you know, we have been called. There's been a lot of, you know, that people that bring content to this channel and are 100% viewer sponsored or somehow scammers, right? This right here, that was the biggest scam I have ever heard of in my life. A lady was scammed out of literally $8,000 for this billboard. Now that is a scam. That is what you call a scam. So we've got 7-month, you're all complicit. Hawkins County ignores multiple opportunities. This is you know, these are advocates for summer wells. These are advocates for summer wells that are posting kind of like we are about summer wells. And this one was from Gloxxen. It says 7 months, you're all complicit. Hawkins County ignores multiple opportunities to arrest and separate and question John Wells and Candace Bly. What/who are you protecting? TBI investigation. If your case is bigger, you might want to act a little faster. You know, everybody is losing faith in Hawkins County's ability to do their job. I have now, you know, we always lack the blue, but this is by far the most garbage investigation I have ever seen. I have never seen horrible police work by Hawkins County. When you have a missing child, you arrest and do whatever you can each and every time. You don't keep letting people that could be responsible for a 5-year-old, almost 6-year-old child that has been gone for 7 months to keep sliding by and not being held accountable. Well, you know, we couldn't determine who the aggressor was, you know. Give me a break. Give me a break. You know, Hawkins County folks, you guys deserve better. You really do. Your police, your law enforcement out there is failing you. Okay, we have Georgia Bureau of Investigations. Now, again, Jonathan Lee Riches put this out there on his page. If you guys are not you know, subscribers of Jonathan Lee Riches, I'm telling you, you guys are losing a great opportunity to get some real legitimate information about these cases. I do lives. He does short videos. He does a lot of investigative work. You guys are missing a great opportunity to get information as soon as he has it, if you're not subscribed to his channel. You know, and there was let me see if I can try to get it. You know, clearly I'm not going to be able to play it. I might as well just, maybe I can maybe that's what I can do. I can just turn this around, point it down. There we go. There's my second screen. A little messy over there in that corner. That's why I don't like to do that. But I don't really care. I think if we can get some information out, you guys really wouldn't care either. But I got to say, it is frustrating. It is frustrating. It is frustrating. I don't even know where to go to get these damn permissions. Okay, so YouTube. Olivia is up, by the way. I may end up stepping away, like playing you guys a video and stepping away so I can call her and figure out how to share this other screen. Actually, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. That doesn't sound like a bad idea at all, to be honest with you. Let me go ahead and drop this one out. Add to live stream. No, we do not want to add to live stream. Okay, let's see if we can go to this one. All right, I'm coming at a different way. At least I'll be able to share up. Enter studio, yes. Turn off my face. I will be entering the studio though. All right, now let me see if I can share my screen. 2 ways to skin a cat, folks. 2 ways to skin a cat. All right, there we go. Now, YouTube, yay! We will have stuff after all. All right, there is the interview right there.
I am a small business owner trying to find other small business owners.
All right. So this is her, right? And so we're just gonna get you on the record. So I'm just gonna stop this. I want to tell you about this interview. This interview was really amazing. She covered a lot, and I want you guys, if you guys haven't already, pay close attention to where she talks about law enforcement. Law enforcement, yes, thank you. I see you. Law enforcement has done SWAT for her. Seriously, they have done SWAT. They went out there for 2 days. You know, and it brings me back to the Brian Laundrie case because they try to say that they went out there with all these drones and stuff, but there was such dense forestry, I guess is what you could say. I don't know. It's a swampy area. It's a heck of a lot more swampy than the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. I will tell you that first and foremost. Secondly, it was just so dense. They did drones. You can't see. Look, this infrared, all these sonar type things that they've got that they try to fly above. Those do not work out there in these forests. They just don't. It's too thick. It's just too thick, and it's very upsetting that they don't law enforcement just doesn't tell these people that they go out there and it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time when you have that much brush. Osceola County hasn't done a whole lot for this family by way of help. They think that this woman just walked off and doesn't want to be found. That is untrue. Jonathan, Olivia, mom, myself, we were out there. We know exactly what is going on out there, and I'm telling you, you get lost very easily. We got lost for about 4 minutes. I panicked just a little bit. When Jonathan panics, I panic, because I think that we can all agree on the team that, we trust Jonathan's judgment. We just trust it. He's a navigational beacon. We trust his inner voice. We trust everything about him. We feel safe when we're with Jonathan. All of us do. And he kind of got a little nervous back there, but he got us out. It was only 4 minutes. We got lost. We got lost for about 4 minutes. We found our way. We got out. No big deal. In the videos that was released, you'll see these orange tape. And we what is that? It looked like it might have been evidence or something like that. Believe it or not, Andrea tells us that they thought that was Paola's footprints. And so they taped it off, for evidence. But we've been out there searching in the swamp. It was hard. I got to tell you that I was in a lot of pain when I got done. We walked miles and miles and miles and miles, and under foliage, over trees, slipping and sliding in that that terrain. It was rough terrain, and I've got scoliosis and degenerate disc disease in my lower back. So I've got to say that was not the most pleasant experience in a swamp that I've had. But it's what we signed up for. It's what we do. It's how we help. And it's sad because there was a few people that have said, why are you out there? Why don't you let law enforcement handle it? Law enforcement's not helping this family. That's why we're out there. They're not helping this family. They're not doing enough. They have pretty much washed their hands of this case. It is up to the family, Paola's family, to carry this case forward. If they're going to find anything, it's up to them to find it and call law enforcement. If they want forensics done, it's up to them to get forensics. This is not what we pay law enforcement for, clearly, right? I mean, missing people, it's the family's responsibility to find them. Don't you know that that's how it works in the state of Florida, or at least in Osceola County? Sounds pretty insane, doesn't it? Yeah. So I'm not sure how we're going to pressure Osceola County to do more, but clearly, you can spend millions of dollars looking for Brian Laundrie and screw up that whole entire case. But you can't lift a finger to assist a missing woman that's in a forest that is most likely lost. Like, they could have gotten to her a lot sooner, but they failed to continue the search. They knew that she could have been out there, and they failed to continue the search. Now, with that being said, there were some weird things that we did find out during this interview, right? So the weird thing is, people would think her keys being in the car would be odd. It's not. According to Andrea, her keys, it's not the first time she left her keys in the car to go to the beach or something like that. So what is odd is the fact she left her phone in the car, so it's a little odd for her to leave her keys and her phone in the car. And not only that, but being out there in that wilderness, I mean, it's 1.7 miles from the place where we can park our vehicle, which is in the Sand Lake lot, and to walk out to the Otter campsite. It is 1.7 miles. It takes almost 45 minutes to walk out there. And there's no directional signs out there. There's no places to call for help. There's nothing out there. This, in my opinion, that reserve or preserve or whatever you want to call it is dangerous. It needs to have a warning sign out in the front, and not a gator warning sign. Give me a break. Yes, there was, a gator attack in 2015. We looked at the statistics on gator attacks, gator deaths. They're very, very rare, period. Very rare in the state of Florida. Very rare. We have 23 million people in the state of Florida, and we have about 7 attacks every year. We have less than 1 death every 10 years. It came out to being, I think, every 10 years, like 1 death every 10 years or something like that. I can't remember. Olivia's got the stats in one of our videos. Yeah, if you guys like this channel, you like listening to the information, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I am here. I will tell you that I cannot go live every day. I'm trying to make sure that we have a schedule that we can keep. Right now, I'm looking at possibly doing maybe like a Tuesday through Saturday, or a Wednesday through Sunday, or something like that, because and if I go, I think I need to have 2 days back to back off, and if I go live on those days, then that'll just be a cherry on top. If I don't, no big deal. But I do need to start coordinating, and again, we're going to have cases coming up. We've got to start. We're still working on summer wells. Don't forget, we're still working on, but we kind of have an idea of what happened. Who's responsible, and we're just waiting for all the pieces to get together for law enforcement to get off their butts and actually do something. And it brings me back to Georgia. Georgia Bureau of Investigation, a lady out there, reported her son missing. They went ahead and arrested her. Without her son being found. The next day, guess what? Her son was found, and I can guarantee what had happened is once she was arrested, she realized the gig was up and she spilt the beans. Why couldn't TBI do that? Why couldn't they do that? These people are, I'm just telling you, the more time that goes by, the more of a joke I'm starting to think this is. Hawkins County, they let these people just beat the crap out of each other with no accountability. They've never held the Wells accountable. They do not want to do their job. Those law enforcement officers do not want to do their job. It is the most irritating, irresponsible thing I have ever seen in my life. And you people of Hawkins County, the only people that have control over that is you. You can change that. You can change that. And I really behoove you to, because Ronnie Lawson has not a clue how to be a sheriff in a small town. You're not their friend, Ronnie Lawson. You're not any person's friend. You have a job to do. It's nothing personal. It's business. You break the law, you go to jail. You bond yourself out, you go to court. It's called due process. You're not there to be their friend. You're not there to be their friend. Lock these people up if they break the law. They have a missing child. They are most likely responsible for that missing child. There's no doubt in my mind that they're responsible. But just to appease everybody else, we'll say most likely responsible. Most likely responsible. And you see the difference. And this is another thing. You see the difference in somebody like Andrea Miranda wanting answers and seeking answers for her sister versus somebody like Don and Candace Wells that want to call cops on the people that are trying to help find their kid. You got somebody like Andrea that's welcoming help, that wants us to help, wants us to be out there. All hands on deck. No help will go, is too much. This is what I'm talking about with the personalities of what a guilty person acts like and what an innocent person acts like. And you'll see a major difference in attitudes. Remember, Don Wells does not want to interview with us because we ask tough questions. We have very detailed questions. We've already listened to all the interviews, and we ask questions that the other interviewers didn't ask or wouldn't ask or were told not to ask. We don't care. We want to know. We want to find out the information. I don't believe cop is. If we're talking about Ronnie Lawson, I don't believe Ronnie Lawson. We have done extensive backgrounds on Don Wells, Candace Bly, and Ron Lawson, and there we can't find a connection between Ron Lawson and Don Wells. We cannot find a familial connection. We've looked, we can't find it. So I don't see how that is possible. But again, we can only we're only as good as the information we receive in the reports that we receive, right? I can say that we have investigated it. It doesn't seem to be a fruitful or actual issue. I just don't see where Ronnie Lawson and Don Wells are family. I don't. So sorry, I got to get some more coffee in me. I am dying here. And especially with, I don't do well with issues right? Like I'm having issues this morning. Computer's not working right. I got literally 3 computers set up here. None of them are working right. I can't share my screens. I can't share anything. It just kind of sucks a little bit. I got to say. So another thing that this is information. This is from 5 days ago from Brian Enton. Developments in 2 missing cases have been they've been following closely. Summer Wells deputies were called to Tennessee last week after Summer's mom, Candace, accused Don of hitting her. Harmony Montgomery police narrowed down the timeline to a 13-day window. So that's good. We always want them to narrow that down, like even with Candace Bly. I'm going to call her Candace Bly because I don't think that they're lawfully married. And she, called. None of this makes sense. Like, why did Grandis? We heard Grandis called, right? We heard Grandis called that day. Like, why would you call 3 hours after the altercation if that really is the truth? 3 hours after the altercation. It doesn't make sense. It sounds to me like they were all using drugs, and when the drugs ran out, then it was time to call the law and have the a-hole removed from the house. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm just saying. They both knew straight away their kids had been abducted, yet excessive police work shows no evidence in their case. Parents of missing children behaving badly. It's another post about Don Wells and the way he's acting. Nothing has made sense with his behavior since the beginning of this case. Nothing. They were always, from the very beginning, they were referred to as past tense. Summer is in past tense, as if they already knew she was dead. You've got, Andrea, which is, pictured right here. You got Andrea out there in this swamp, a few times a week looking for her sister. And then you got somebody like Don Wells and Candace Bly that have never once went out to search for their daughter. There's just so many differences in these cases, from an innocent person to a guilty person. And people are like, you don't have proof that Don and Candace, has anybody even realized what a circumstantial case is? Let's find out. Let me read let's see what circumstantial evidence is. Circumstantial evidence in law. Evidence not draw from direct observation of facts, evidence not drawn from direct observation of a fact and issue. If a witness testifies that he saw a defendant fire a bullet into a body of a person who then died, this is direct testimony of material fact in a murder. And the only question is whether the witness is telling the truth. So, examples of circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence is proof or a fact or set of facts from which one could infer the fact in question. For example, the suspect seen running away from a murder scene with a weapon in hand is circumstantial evidence he committed the murder. Okay? Now, how often, let's look at this. How often, what is the statistics, right? If I'm spelling this right. So I want to see how often is it the last person that sees the victim alive? Okay. What are the chances of being killed by somebody you know, right? In 2011, an incident of murder of which the relationship of the murder victims and offenders are known. So 54.3% were killed by somebody they knew, acquaintances, neighborhoods, friends, boyfriends, etc. 24.8% of the victims were slain by family members, which accounted for 23.1% of the murders. Those are pretty alarming statistics, if you ask me. But some people probably won't get it. For serial killers, we're not in a serial killer. Let's see. I would show you guys the screen, but I can't show you guys the screen. All I got is this one here. Let me just go ahead and let you guys listen to some of this. I'm going to actually put it forward just a little bit. I think the best information is right about the best information is right about the 200th mark of this. I don't know why my Google Voices is going off. So I'm going to get right here and I'm going to play.
Yourself? Do you go with a group?
With a group. So usually I go with a group. I have gone out.
At Groupon, we want Valentine's Day to be a day to do the things you love with the people you love. Whether it's massage.
The only time I went with less than 10 people was once, and it was with a mission of working with a specific search and rescue who were planning their search.
So what are you thinking when you're out there? Like what are you just hoping today's the day I'm going to find her?
Yes, 100%. There was one day where I felt like that was the day. Like I don't know what came over me. I just felt like it was the first day that I went really deep into the woods, like really, really deep. And for some reason, I just felt that she was there in that moment. But then when we don't find her, every time you leave, you're defeated. Like I must admit, and there's been times where I leave and I'm just like, goodness gracious, like when is this gonna happen for us? I have started to feel a little helpless, but you start to feel helpless because you want more involvement. Like you want more Actually, when you guys were out there, you saw some orange tapings.
Yes.
So that was a part of our search and rescue efforts, and it's because we found some footprints that match her shoe size near the water. And
that was probably about what, a quarter mile down on the down from Otter Campground on the right on the river banks, right? It was like a square, and it was marked on the tree right on the river there, right?
Yeah, so we have been marking what we can, but here's what happens when we're out there and it's civilians, right? Like, because we've gone out and then sometimes we go out with search groups and cadaver dogs and life scent dogs and everything. But we only have so many tools, right? So, okay, now I found these footprints, but if I don't get the right expert to come tell me if this is my sister, because there's a way to measure if the height is hers. If that was, they can measure height, they can measure direction of where she was heading to. But it's hard. It's hard to get the law enforcement back up there.
That's what I was going to ask. The search group that you have, is it friends? Is it some sort of organizations, community?
We've had both. So we have family and friends who go out there every time I go. And then we also have organizations. So thus far, we've worked with Florida Airport Search and Rescue. We've worked with a group of veterans. Actually, yesterday, a big group of veterans came, even from South Carolina, drove all the way down. And then we've worked with Peace River Search and Rescue. And then I have other names, but they're smaller organizations. I haven't learned them just yet. I know them by name. But yeah, we've done it both ways.
So how do they, so they just reach you on Facebook or call you to say, hey, we want to help, or how can we help?
Yeah, so actually, I reached out first because as soon as the investigation was over and I started doing more research, because, at first I felt, I was convinced that Orange County had done what they could, right? I hadn't been out there to Otter Camp because they blocked us from going there. Immediately they started, we couldn't go in there. But as soon as I went into Otter Camp, I was like, no way they searched all of this in 2 days. There's just no way that they did a thorough search, boots on ground.
When you say Orange County, you mean Osceola County or Orange, or both?
Both, because Orange County, the park is jurisdiction of Orange County, so they are the ones who assisted Osceola in the search. So there's our ERT team, emergency response team, they're the ones who led the search at the park. Osceola was just there, like 2 detectives, that's it. And then Osceola so they were doing the park work, and Osceola is doing the missing persons. Later on January 6th, Osceola decided, because we did put a little bit of pressure on them, to go out there. They bought a sonar camera and they went on January 6th to do a search. I was disappointed with the search because I wanted them, if you have this tool, do the whole 8.5 miles. Like, do it. I've kayaked it. You can get through it. It's easy. For some reason, they only did 2 miles up and down 4 times. The same 2 miles up and down out of 8.5 miles. And I'm just like, that's not enough. If they would have informed me, I would have been there. I would have shown them, because they said there was a tree trunk, and I know exactly what tree trunk they're talking about. And there's a way to get around it. They just didn't look. So there's a lot of things that I just, and if they didn't know, then reach out to an expert, reach out to somebody. Make sure that if you're going to make the effort, do it 100%. Like, don't do it halfway.
That kind of brings me back to, my next line of questioning is, has law enforcement been keeping you up to date with information about this case?
No, they haven't done a good enough job. If you look at my call history, you can see that I'm always the one who calls. I'm the one who calls. One of the times, 2 weeks ago, my dad had to call upset and be like, what's the update? What is the update? Right now, their technique, Marcos Lopez, the sheriff of Osceola, on January 6th at 4 p.m. that said he will not go back to search at Wekiwa Springs State Park. And
why?
Because he says he searched the 2 miles he did at the park, and Orange County did 2.5.
But you're saying it's a much bigger area. It's 8 miles.
And when you talk to the experts, when you talk to these organizations that are search and rescue that have done like 60 missions, right? They have it up their sleeve. And I would love to ask Marcos Lopez and his team, how many searches in the woods have you conducted? Because at one conversation I had with the detective leading this case, who's also last name Lopez, he said that they don't even have state parks in Osceola. So then I'm like, okay, but you have lakes, you have parks in general, you have reservations, people's backyards have woods in them. So you have to be equipped. And if you're not, reach out. to people and activate they were supposed to activate these groups that I found. They're called CERT teams, and they're certified to do this.
So what you're hearing her do right now is kind of explain the process. Her working with law enforcement. She did not have a good experience with law enforcement handling her sister's case. And, a lot of people keep asking us, leave it to law enforcement. And I actually asked her this question. It's coming up. We're going to have probably a small advertisement that comes up here shortly. If I could run this on, without going to YouTube, I would, so I could just jump around to the places and not have the advertisement. But as many of you guys know, or the people that are just coming in, I am using a new computer. Still, I want to thank the person that helped sponsor the majority of the purchase of this computer, and those that had donated to PayPal. You guys made the purchase of the MacBook Pro. This is the first time I've used Mac products. So I'm having some technical issues. So I'm actually on the old computer running. I'm live here, so I'm not going to drop or anything. This may drop. The video that you're watching might drop because it's on the other computer. However, we are working to resolve some of the technical issues. So hopefully we won't have the technical issues tomorrow morning when I come live. Yes. There we go. Thank you. I see you. You're always up to date. I appreciate you so much. I really do. I really do. Thank you. Thank you. And we're still looking for Paola Miranda Rosa. She is still missing. We don't know where she is. And she's there's some other factors that are coming in. I behoove you guys. Oh, thank you. I see you. I behoove you guys to go over and watch this entire interview. I really do, because it explains some pretty bizarre stuff. Like Paola was just recently dating a friend that they'd known for a really long time. This friend never showed up to the searches, hasn't really reached out to the family, has had some odd behavior. The fact that the keys, the phone, the wallet were all in the car. The keys being in the car and the wallet being in the car she didn't think anything of it because she's seen her sister leave keys in the vehicle before. However, it was the cell phone. The cell phone is odd. Apparently, Paola takes the cell phone everywhere, just like many of us do, right? So that was a little odd. So it makes her feel that there was a possibility that she actually made it back to the vehicle, that she may have made it back to the vehicle. So, law enforcement is saying that there's no possibility of foul play, but they never investigated the possibility of foul play. She's given law enforcement this gentleman's name, and to date, she doesn't believe that they have even questioned him, spoke to him, or anything. But she's saying that he's having odd behavior right now because most of Paola's friends are out there searching for her, except this guy she's dating. Could it mean something? Could it not? We don't know. But every possibility needs to be explored. I can tell you, while we were out there, even though we saw the gator signs, we were like everybody else. She got eaten by a gator. She's not supposed to be in the water out there swimming at Otter Creek because of gators. When we got out there, I'm telling you, we didn't get the vibe that she was eaten by a gator. We didn't get that vibe at all. We got the vibe that she most likely got lost. And then you've got law enforcement out there that's only searching 2 miles up and down this river. And, they said there was 150, they had 150 people. In part of this interview, she explains that 20 of them were looking at, this machine. And maybe she didn't say it. She might have said that after we cut the cameras when we were standing by the cars talking a little bit more. But there is some other information that I definitely want you guys to hear. We even question her, about us. People tell us, leave it to law enforcement. Leave it to law enforcement. What are we doing getting involved? And she actually addresses that. And I think it's coming up. I think it's right about the 30-minute mark. So we've got about 5 minutes before, between 5 and 10 more minutes. And you'll hear her discussing why she's so thankful for people like our team being involved in these cases, that she herself was one of those people that said, leave it to law enforcement. until she was put in this predicament, until she realized how little help law enforcement is actually providing her and her family to help her find her sister. So I definitely want you guys to still stay tuned and watch this, please.
And when I called them up, they were all jaw dropped at the fact that they weren't activated. They're just like, and that's the pressure that they started sending out emails to Osceola County that said, why didn't you activate us? You know, you should have passed on the information of what was done by Orange County so that we can continue the search. And then communication, going back to your question, the communication has been very minimal. I have to drag it out of them. I have to call them 3 times to get it. They're quicker with text, but sometimes I text 4 questions before I get an answer.
Right.
So how many detectives are on the case? Is there designated ones? You said Lopez.
Yeah. So there's one, Detective Lopez is from Osceola County, and he's the one on handling the case. I have spoken to the supervisor, Sergeant Chambers, who's responsive. So those are the 2 from Osceola. Okay. And over in Orange County, they made it very clear that they were just assisting. So when they were on the case, they were very responsive. But as soon as they stopped their search, then they stopped assisting.
How do you feel law enforcement has handled this case in your mind? I know you've expressed some of your concerns, but overall, how do you feel like they've handled this case?
I feel like they started out, backtrack. When I handed them the information about the ATM and the e-pass, those leads should have been followed up on. So law enforcement dropped the ball there, because if we found the car, they could have found the car. They had the exact same knowledge I did. I told them ATM, I told them e-pass, and I told them behavior. She loves water. And I said, search parks. But at that point, but when Orange County took over, they acted quickly. They got groups in there. They didn't devote the right amount of time to it. In retrospect, they did depend a lot on drone footage, horses, and when you're out there, you can see, if you take a drone up there, which I've seen drone footage at this point, you can't see anything. There's so many woods, you can't see anything. You can use it for directions, but you cannot use it to search for a person. Horses, they're gonna miss stuff. When you're on horseback, you're gonna miss stuff. This takes boots on ground, slow, detailed, and you have to do a quadrant, and it's not going to take only 2 days. It is going to be a week or weeks of search. And then, and it frustrates me, honestly, because when you do research, even with the Brian Laundrie situation, they spent $9 million searching for a fugitive, somebody who committed a crime or suspected of committing a crime. And they spent 2.5 days searching for my sister, who's a civilian, who's an amazing person, who hasn't done anything wrong, who is a taxpayer, who, why are we not searching for these people? And why, when the one time we need law enforcement and we depend on them, why is it a little bit of an effort? Why is it not a full-on effort? And actually, one of the detectives from Osceola County told me on the day that the search stopped, I would be here every day searching if it was my son. So why are you not there every day sending a team? And like I said, if they can't handle that, like if they can't send a group that they, I don't know, money-wise, whatever-wise, which it shouldn't be a money situation because these are citizens. When we pay tax, they should devote it. Then send out those search teams. Right. Make sure that you hand this off to somebody you trust that's going to take care of this for you. These organizations that are nonprofit or somebody else that can take this over, because what they did, I feel, is like, okay, Orange County, they're done, right?
At Groupon, we want Valentine's Day to be a day.
So we are, again, just going to, let me just get through this. As you're hearing her explain her interaction with law enforcement, again, they are not doing enough for her and her family out here searching for her sister. They have all but gave up. And it is frustrating, but this is why we get involved with these cases. This is why we go out and help search for these people in these swamps. Many of you guys, join as members on this channel to help support these efforts of us going out into the field, us going out in there and working with these people. Many of you guys support us through super chats and super stickers and, donating. These are the things, this is why we do what we do, is because everybody is so dependent on law enforcement. You're about to find out some statistics coming up here in just a second about, law enforcement. Seriously, about law enforcement, about how it is their responsibility, not law enforcement responsibility, the family's responsibility to do this, because they provide minimal effort, then they pull back their resources, and it's up to the families to do the rest if they so choose to go out there and hunt for their family. Many people that want to find their family obviously will continue the search long after law enforcement steps back. And again, the reason why I'm showing you guys this today, and then we're going to dovetail back into Summer Wells, is because you're seeing people that have a missing person, that are innocent, that have no culpability in her disappearance. And then we're going to start looking at some of the behaviors of Don and Candace Wells, which have a missing 5-year-old, almost 6-year-old child that has been missing for 8 months. The difference in personalities, the difference in effort being made. And again, these are behaviors that are very suspect. So we're going to be just we're going to be weaving all this stuff in together to show you a pattern of behavior of Don and Candace Wells while promoting the help to search for Paola Miranda Rosa. So, guys, I want you guys to stay tuned. We are going through all of this. I know that you guys can go and watch this, but I'm bringing you to, specific points that I want you guys to hear. This is the most important chunk of information that I want you guys to hear, because this is really talking and honing into the law enforcement aspect of this missing person case, Paola Miranda Rosa. And the struggles her family are going through right now, trying to look for her. And so we're just breaking this down. You guys can watch the entire full interview on my channel. It was uploaded. It's, I, again, took 5 hours to upload. And then I wanted to make sure that that it was all acceptable. It was all adjusted, because this, again, took many hours. It took us almost 3 hours to get to her to have this interview. We sat down with her and spoke to her for over an hour, even though this interview specifically is only 1 hour and 3 minutes. We actually spoke to her before this interview started, and we stayed with her and spoke with her after this interview ended. And then, of course, we still had, I had another meeting, another political thing that was going on in Maitland, which wasn't too far from where we met her. So we were able to switch gears and go over there and do our thing over there. I didn't get home last night until about 10:15. So I know that people are missing me. Coffee Club is still alive and well. We are not going anywhere. I can promise you that. If you guys don't hear from me, I always try to tell you when I'm going dark. And I did tell you guys, that I was going to be going to a political event in Texas, and I was going to be out of pocket and not be online for a few days. I am back. We will be live for a few days, and then we're going back out into the field. So we will me personally will try to be online as much as possible, and I will try my best to go live out in the field whenever everything is proper to do so. I don't mind going live in the field, as long as it's not going to jeopardize the team personally, with harm and what have you. I will go live. Just believe that. I don't try to hold anything back. I didn't want to go live with this specific interview yesterday for, specific reasons. I wanted to go through it. I wanted to be methodical. I will tell you that this is the raw footage. There was nothing cut out. There was what she said. The entire interview has been uploaded for you guys to watch from start to finish. And I hope you guys do so. Good morning, everybody. A lot of people are coming in. I just want to tell you all good morning. I have missed you guys immensely. I'm taking a break to chatter my jaws. So if you guys have not gotten your cup of joe or your tea in some cases, please get up and go get that now. This is going to be, we're going to be on here for a little minute because now that I've got this computer at least up and running, I still got to, once I figure out how to share my screens on this MacBook Pro, my old computer will only be used to do my thumbnails on because it has the program to do my thumbnails and my videos when I modify videos, when I'm trying to make videos. So, but we are here. We're still alive and kicking. And I got to say, Texas, just to get off topic a little bit, Texas was amazing. If many of you guys were watching some certain news channels, you guys would have seen me on them. I am at one point was a major political animal, still dipping my toes in politics here and there for the benefit of my county, but try to keep all of that off this channel. I want to focus primarily on the victims and the victim's family. Here is a great, oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, seriously. I know I need to get one too. But I love my handy dandy coffee club mug. I love this. I do. If I could take this cup with me everywhere, I would. But the tumbler, you can, right? It has a lid and everything on it. So you literally could take the tumbler everywhere because it probably fits right in your cup holder and the vehicles and everything. I'll have to order one. Thank you for letting me know. Another one of our viewers bought the socks. She's got Bullhorn Betty socks. A few people bought the hoodies, told me they're great quality hoodies, keeps you nice and snuggly and warm. The reason why I'm saying that is because we're in cold weather. I mean, what was crazy is when I went to go to Texas, it was colder here in Florida the next day. It was colder here in Florida than it was in Texas. And that's insane. I can tell you when we were in Texas, there was frost on the ground. I was bitterly cold. I was borderline miserable. That's how cold it was. But I still enjoyed my time. And I always try to find ways to unwind and relax. This stuff gets to you guys. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Karen. We love you. We love you. We love all the support that you guys give us here at Bullhorn Betty. We really do. I would love to personally thank the person that helped sponsor the MacBook Pro. I can't thank her enough. I can't, unfortunately, say her name on here. It's not good for me to do that. As you know, some people get burned when she is a anonymous donor that I know and speak to, and a lovely woman. And just can't thank her enough. I will get this computer up and running. But guess what? Look, we haven't dropped one time today. Not one time have we dropped. It's just getting all the permissions set up. This was kind of the dry run, if you will, for these. And I realized that there are some things that need to be worked out technically on here so we can have the functionality there. I did want to show you guys this so you guys can understand. Let me just take this off. I'll bring it back up. Can you guys see that? That is it. And it was worse than that because I tried to straighten it out as much as possible. But this is metal. This thing was hit so hard when it was dropped that it crushed in the whole side. And I tried my hardest to pull it out. This all doesn't work. This was a brand new computer. This is a 2-in-1. I can't even bend it backwards because it's supposed to bend all the way backwards flush, and I can't do it. So let me go back. Yep. I think I just dropped. Hold on. I think I might have to go back a little bit. I think I went ahead. I don't remember where we were. So let me just pause this, and then we're going to bring it back up and get back to the interview. I may have just accidentally skipped when I did that. So we'll see what I did.
No, at this point, it's up to me to do that. It's up to me. I'm working.
I think we were right.
No, I do not think they have been handled correctly, and I think in a fight for this to never happen again to anybody else, because it's like I said, I do not wish this on anybody, and to be faced
Pull me out of here and mute
with
me.
reality that this is how missing persons cases are treated, it's unbearable.
So it'd be a fair statement to say you do feel that law enforcement could do a lot more than what they're
Yes,
doing.
100%. They can do a lot more. The way they said it is that the only thing they're doing is social media at this point, which is the new door to door, which I agree, social media is amazing to get the word out there. But if they believe, because that's their theory is that my sister is at the park. Why did they stop searching until they find her? Whether they think it's a cadaver, whether they think she's still there and needs them, why did they stop searching? You know, like,
So you said you just said earlier about the phone, right?
Yes.
Did they eventually get into the phone?
No, they didn't get into the phone. They said Orange County tried 2 softwares that were not able to get into the phone. Right now, you know, I had handed them the Apple ID and the password, and they locked me out of it because they tried locking into the phone. I don't know what happened, but we're working on that now.
Do they still have possession of her phone?
No, I just got it last week. I just got the phone. Mm-hmm.
So basically, is at this point it's up to you.
Yeah. No, at this point it's up to me to do that. It's up to me. I'm working with somebody to do forensics on the car. It's up to me. Everything.
Does the vehicle have any GPS tracking or any type of
It does.
like OnStar or anything like
That would
that?
have been great. No, we don't.
You know, a lot of people say, and I can tell you just from me being out doing this stuff with not just your case, but many other cases, leave it to law enforcement.
This is where you're going to hear her make the statement. Okay, I'm going to go back just a few seconds and replay this, but I want you guys to listen to this. This is very important, and she's very honest about her response because she says she was the same way. But I'm going to, let me go ahead and just go back 10 seconds. I went back 10 seconds. I'm going to replay this for you.
We don't.
You know, a lot of people say, and I can tell you just from me being out doing this stuff with not just your case, but many other cases, leave it to law enforcement. Leave it to law enforcement. Mm-hmm. Why are you involving yourself into cases like this? How do you feel about that statement?
Yeah. So I believe that statement because I must tell you that statement came out of my mouth the moment we found her car. The moment we found her car, I told my parents, now they're going to listen to us. Now they're active. Now they're going to find her. I told them, like, we gave them the biggest lead that they could have had. I can tell you now, do not leave it to law enforcement. Work this case from the moment that you have any information, take it upon yourself, because the way another detective, Sergeant Chambers, told me is that they have only 5 detectives and they get up to 1,000 cases a year. And because of this, people go to the bottom of the list.
Did you hear that? Did you guys all hear that? Now that is a real family member discussing their experience with law enforcement. Law enforcement is being honest with this woman, saying, we only have 5 detectives and about 1,000 missing persons a year. Listen to that. 5 detectives and 1,000 people a year go missing. 1,000. Let's think about that. Do you honestly think that these detectives can give 100% to 1,000 cases amongst 5 of them? This is unacceptable. I mean, even law enforcement, this is unacceptable. I'm sure they feel bad, and they're the ones telling her this information. They're standing back. They're not part of these searches that are going out there into the swamp. It's people like me. It's people like Andrea that are getting these groups together to go out there into these areas to look for her sister. It's not law enforcement. It's not law enforcement assisting this family and helping them find her sister. They found the car. This family found the sister's car, gave the information to law enforcement, and before they even found the car, gave law enforcement all the information to lead to that car. This family had as much information as law enforcement did, and law enforcement could not find the vehicle. The family had to find it. Now, mind you, this is not an area that Paola frequent. It was not an area that Paola even frequented. So it's not like this family knew, oh, she would be here. They literally took the evidence that they've acquired, that they handed off to police, and used it to help them find the information. And we're going to keep going.
Which is not how it should be, which I said, then who do we need to talk to change this? But honestly, more than ever, it is like, if you want to find your family member, do whatever you can and get out there, reach out to organizations, reach out to everybody, have your voice heard, and make sure you're stern with law enforcement from the beginning.
Make sure you're stern with law enforcement at the beginning. Get out there and start searching yourself. Again, these are things that Don Wells and Candace Bly never did. They never went out and searched, and they never picked up the phone to reach out to other organizations to help them find their child, Summer Wells. You see the personality differences here from a family that really wants to find their missing family member and a family that doesn't care about finding their family member. Does anybody see that at all? Do you not see the personality differences here? You know, we've been doing this for a little hot minute, right? And I can tell you, everybody that pushes us away and wants to call the police on us for going out there and searching are usually guilty of something. I can tell you that. Prime example, Colin Knapp threw his girlfriend in the backyard, over the fence, down the two doors down. You know, this family here, the Miranda family right here, they want to find their missing loved one. Don and Candace Wells, too busy up there on that mountain smoking crack and drinking booze to give a damn. Wouldn't even tell me how often he calls law enforcement for an update. This family here is on the phone with law enforcement regularly, demanding updates. Law enforcement's not responsive to them. They keep burning that phone up. They keep burning that text message up. They have not stopped looking. From out the gate, we never seen Don Wells or Candace Bly ever take the initiative to do a damn thing to help find Summer Wells. Period. Period. It's sad. And people want to say, oh, they're innocent until proven guilty. Okay. Keep believing that. They're not innocent until proven guilty until they make it to court. Right now, they're suspects, and they're going to be treated as such. They're going to be treated as such. Something happened at the water hole. They didn't get Summer help. Candace calls Don. Don takes care of the problem. Candace comes back home, calls law enforcement. My child's missing. Job done. Now it's just trying to play the part, but they can't even cry. Their bodies can't even come up with tears unless they're being interrogated like they should be. Then those crocodile tears come pouring down her face, but it's never about Summer. It's always about Candace. I was on the phone with Don Wells, and he said, when I asked him, why is there no emotion from you guys? Him telling me they're not going to fake cry in front of public. Why would it be fake crying? Your 5-year-old child's missing. What do you mean fake crying? Sad. This family wants to find their family member, and law enforcement is basically turning their back on them, not doing a damn thing to help them. Excuse my language. I'm trying to work on it. And then then people want to know why we're involved in cases. It's because it's like social workers. These officers are overworked, underpaid, and do not have enough resources. They've never been upset that she's missing. I've never seen, outside of Candace getting the Spanish Inquisition and her crying because she felt interrogated, I don't see why law enforcement has not locked them up. Even just January 19th, they had an opportunity to take both of them to jail and didn't. When's enough, Hawkins County? When are you going to do your damn job? Excuse my language. Me too. Me too. It's sad because she does want to meet this person. This person wants to stay anonymous, does not want to come forward in a public light. If this person that provided this does watch this channel or comes across this channel, I behoove you. We will keep you anonymous. But her family would like to speak with you just to find out some information. And if you guys would be willing to, please reach out to me or reach out to her. She's on Facebook. They're looking, you can hashtag, help us find Paola Miranda. You'll find Andrea Miranda, I'm sure, in some post on Facebook. That's how Jonathan was able to reach out to her to coordinate this. She did see us out there searching. We had already made contact with her before we went out there to search the first time. She actually had asked us, but this interview was yesterday on Monday. She actually told us about the large search that they were going to do that Sunday, January 30th. But with us traveling and Olivia doing her work, she has a job as well. It just made it impossible for us to meet this family and help them search out there in the swamp on Sunday. So we had went there early. I believe it was Wednesday, maybe it was Thursday. I think it was Thursday of last week we went. Yes, I think it was Thursday. So it was, it was rough terrain, guys. I went live out there. If you guys want to see what we had to go through, you should. I got bruises on my shin. There were little knobby things sticking up out of the ground like this. And I'm telling you, I was wearing steel-toed boots and they get heavy, especially on the walk back. They get heavy. And after as many hours as we were out there and as many miles as we covered, it was exhausting. It was super, super exhausting. And I could hardly lift my feet up as I'm walking. So I'm hitting these little knobs as I'm walking down. It was irritating, but we got the job done. We did get lost while we were out there. That's why we finally realized that she must have been disoriented, as her sister would call it, but it's just being lost. It's getting confused directionally. There's nothing out there to guide you. Like even in Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, no matter which place you went, there was always a sign like, this is the red trail, this is Red Dove Trail, this is the yellow trail, this is the white trail, and they had directional signs pointing. And so it wasn't this confusing. Out here, you have nothing, literally no directional signs. Even coming back to the Sand Lake lot, we almost missed the turn to go down the thing because it's a crossroad. If it wasn't for our phones, us having our phones and GPS, we would have been more lost than we'd like to tell you. I have to say, we were smart enough to walk the river. That's why we only got lost for 4 minutes. But I have to tell you, it was very easy to get lost out there. And it's so massive. You would think you're walking back to your car and you're walking further into the forest. And once you get into that forest and you get away from bodies of water, there is no telling where you are. You can't see the sun because it's such dense brush. So you don't even know what direction you're supposed to be going. Like the only two things when you're out in wilderness that you can follow during the day is the sun or the bodies of water. And when you can't see the sun and you can't find a body of water, guess what? You're a sitting duck. Do I think that she was eaten by an alligator? No, I don't. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Okay, I give you that. It's possible. It's the lowest part of the list. Snake bite, low on the list. Other wild animals, low on the list. Low on the list. So I think it was a combination of her getting lost for a couple days and then her medication running out and then her having, medical issues of confusion in addition with being lost. Could she have made it out? It's possible she could have made it out, but where is she? Why isn't she calling home? It's as of yesterday, it was 44 days. Today makes 45 days since Paola Miranda Rosa has gone missing, and her family is still out looking for her. And then you got something like Don Wells and Candace Bly that haven't lifted a finger to coordinate any kind of efforts to search for their daughter. They haven't done anything to help find Summer. Oh, excuse me. They went to visuals. You know what? I've been doing this long enough to know visuals are associated with death. We did visuals for Gabby Petito. We did visuals for Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner. We do searches for missing people. That's what we do. We don't do visuals for missing people. We go out and look at all this work Andrea is doing to help find her sister. That's what you do when you have missing family members. Do you see her holding a visual right now? No. She's turning every rock over to find out what happened to her sister. Candace and Don didn't lift a finger, folks. From the very first interview, referred to Summer Wells in past tense. If you hear everything in this woman's mouth right now, Andrea is referring to her sister as here and now. She believes she's going to find her sister. She knows there's a possibility her sister could now have succumbed to the environment. But she is still hopeful. She's still optimistic. And she is still referring to her sister here and now, not was. Not past tense. Big difference, folks. Big difference. I think people's actions and how they handle certain situations really does define who they are. Absolutely. Go get your coffee. I'm running my chatterbox. You got a few minutes. Run to the kitchen. Get yourself some coffee. Run back. Hurry. Exactly. But with all the firsthand knowledge, and again, we went through that whole circumstantial evidence definition that I, for those that are just joining in, we went through the definition of circumstantial evidence. Somebody running away with a gun, is circumstantial evidence that they most likely pulled the trigger and killed somebody, right? So we have all these witnesses that have come forward and talked about this child abuse that Don Wells and Candace Wells perpetrated upon not just Summer, all their children. Candace has been an abuser of children since she was back in Wisconsin and got her first set of kids taken away from her. And people are like, oh, she didn't abuse them. Okay, well, she didn't abuse them. Explain to me why she never got them back. Right? If a mom didn't abuse them and tried their hardest to get their child back, they would have gotten it back. Period. Everybody that wants to believe that Candace and Don are innocent can continue to believe that Candace and Don are innocent. However, they will never be able to convince me that they are not guilty. They are absolutely guilty. If people want to put their head in the sand and act like none of this None of these things, none of this circumstantial eyewitness testimony, none of this is considered evidence, and they don't want to believe anybody that comes forward against Don and Candace Wells. That is their prerogative. That is their prerogative. I choose to believe it. I choose to believe that Hunter's actions, him never, ever being the same since that day. And the only time he was with Candace was at that waterhole. Chris McDonough going on the record, explaining step by step as to how she's showing PTSD type symptoms at the waterhole. You don't get that unless something traumatic happens at the waterhole. I always find the lies in the truth, or the truth in the lies, rather, the truth in the lies. And she talks about flying like a bat out of hell down the driveway. She had to explain that behavior, so she associated it with something else. She drove down that driveway. Like, who in their right mind, if their child went missing on their property, would leave their property to go try to find their child? That makes absolutely no sense. It was most likely that she realized how grave, or if not, that Summer had already passed away, and tried to drive her either to Don or get her to the hospital because she thought she was done. Doesn't matter. We all saw that picture of Summer Wells there. The purpling of the cuticles is the most important part of that. There's swelling in her hands, swelling in her legs, visible in that photo. That's not good. That shows that that child was dying, in the process of dying, or already dead. So, we're going to keep going back, because this is a great, the reason why I like this video, because it really does showcase the lack of involvement of law enforcement in these missing cases. Hold on, I gotta plug up. Let me plug up. Do I hate law enforcement? Of course not. Of course not. I don't hate law enforcement. I think they're just like everything else. Right? I think they're like everything else. They just don't have the resources that they need. They make mistakes. They're not superheroes. They're not superhumans. They're humans, just like me and you. Yeah, do it. You start finding inconsistencies, and actually, that's another thing. Like, I went through an interview. I gotta let you guys listen to some stuff. If I can get it pulled up, maybe I'll hook my cell phone up to the other computer, the one that's running this here, and see if I can find that. It might be on the hard drive. Maybe I'll put the hard drive up. I think it's on the hard drive. Anyways, I've got different spots in this interview that I wanted to bring your attention to. So I might do that next. Let's go ahead and get this moving. But I just want to show you, and I'm going to keep stopping because this is such a powerful interview, in my opinion. I hope you guys all agree with her documentation of the events and the lack of law enforcement help and presence in this case. So.
And let them know they are not going to forget about you. You are not going to go, or your sibling, your family member is not going to go down to the bottom of the list. Mm-hmm. They're just not, because they will allow it to just fall right in and become a cold case. Right.
So let me ask
give me just a second. I think I'm going to go ahead and go back a few so we can start this over. Hold on.
Did any of you see any alligators out there at all?
I saw alligators from the beginning, and let where you can and get out there, reach out to organizations, reach out to everybody, have your voice heard, and make sure you're stern with law enforcement from the beginning, and let them know they are not going to forget about you. You are not going to go, or your sibling, your family member is not going to go down to the bottom of the list. Mm-hmm. They're just not, because they will allow it to just fall right in and become a cold case. Right.
So let me ask you a question. Going back to your search team, your volunteers, your family looking for her, did any of you see any alligators out there at all?
I saw alligators when I started from King's Landing. I saw a couple of them sunbathing by the water, but I'm talking, it's an 8.5 mile stretch, and it takes 4 miles to get to Otter Camp. So within the first mile, of King's Landing, I did see some. On the way upstream, we ran into a group of girls who said, darn it, we didn't see any alligators on the way. So she's like bummed that she didn't see any. So after that, we saw no more alligators.
And we didn't see any either.
Yeah, we didn't see any.
Did you see any other type of wildlife out there that would maybe be concerning?
Yeah.
Boars,
Panthers,
No
snakes.
panthers. I saw otters. It is
saw
otter
otters.
camp.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of otters, and I've been out there a lot, so I did see some boars. And then yesterday,
So I'm gonna let the commercial run. I don't want you guys having to see the commercials, and it's almost over now. So I just want to let you know that there were some gators out there, not a lot. They were further, many miles up the river where she went into the water. So, again, we didn't see any alligators there. We went miles and miles in, and still no alligators.
We're on a stream like this with you guys for StreamYard Business, but
None that were aggressive or anything that while you were out there.
no, and I've learned with boars, they are territorial, so they will protect, but they're not attacking, and they actually will only feed if there is easy prey. Like easy prey is something that's already been messed with or something like that. And we did, a lady yesterday, as we were searching, said that she saw a bear sighting over there. So, but I haven't seen one myself. And deers, a lot of deers.
We were out there, and I got to say that we at one point got, turned around and disoriented, as you would say. How do you feel about the directional signage in the park?
There's none whatsoever. There's one sign when you start at Otter Camp, and you go to the trail. And actually, for me, it took a lot of learning for me when I got there the first day that I was allowed into Otter Camp. I was confused. I was confused myself on how to get to Otter Camp and the two choices. And, I'm a very, I need to see it beforehand and all of that. But there was one sign, and then after that, there was no more. I don't know if you guys happened upon any other signs apart from the first one that kind of points Otter Camp, or I don't even think
Right before Otter Camp, we saw a crossroad, like a cross.
So again, in this area, it was very dense. Many of you guys saw that we were out there live, out there in Waukesha Springs State Park. We were out there. I can't even remember what day. It was last Thursday. I don't remember what date that was. I think it was the 27th. So we were out there January 27th looking for her. And one thing that we noticed right off the bat is there was no directional signage. This was a huge preserve, huge. And it was completely night and day difference than say when we were out at Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. No directional signage saying go this way for the red trail, go this way for the white trail. Literally, when you walk into the Sand Lake lot, there's a map on a poster board that you have to go look to find and locate the otter campsite. And we actually went, when we were looking at the map, even at that particular park, we went to go down the wrong one. And then Jonathan's like, wait a minute, no, this is definitely not the right one. This is definitely not the right one. So we backed out and went down the right one. And 1.7 miles. And I'm telling you, we had to use GPS to get back there. Getting to you, Lisa, the reason why I had yours up so long is, yes, we were trying to look for any articles of clothing, anything that was snagged, pulled, torn, anything that we could find, we were trying to find. And we didn't find anything. And so I kept telling everybody, we need to go to the front of the mouth, where we could see where the water was flowing, how the water was flowing. And I wanted to go to the very front of that just because I figured that would be the collection of any kind of clothing if she was in the water, got snatched by this alligator. But we looked at alligator attacks in Florida. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and look this up. Deaths by alligator. in Florida. As far as Florida, the deaths, the majority come from, as far as Florida deaths, the majority come from alligators. There are about 16 fatal alligator attacks in a 10-year period. So this was gauged from 1999 to 2019. According to the data from Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, they say the best way to avoid gators is to stay away from rivers and marshy habitats, which is a river and marshy habitat, right? But we did locate that there was somebody actually attacked in the Wakiwa area in 2015, and the gator actually bit her arm off right below the elbow. So this whole part of her arm was missing from that attack. That was serious, but again, not life-threatening. She did lose an arm, yes, I give that, but she is still alive. So there are, and that alligator was humanely euthanized because of that attack. We find once, a lot of people don't know about alligators, but once they attack a human, it is most likely always that they will attack again. So they have to euthanize that particular, alligator if they don't want it happening again. Now, so deaths by alligators in Florida. Here's attacks. Let's see if I can find it. See if I can find something a little more recently. Florida alligator bites statistically dating back to 1948 are ranging from about 3 major bites per year. So we have 3 major bites per year, about 1 to 2 deaths a year. Now you're talking about 23 million people that live in the state of Florida. That does not even include the amount of people that come here. This is a tourist state. So I would say probably, let's see how many tourists. Let me just get statistics. How many tourists visit Florida each year? So, wow. Florida tourist industry was responsible for welcoming 79.8 million visitors in 2020, which is a decrease from the 131.4 million visitors in 2019 prior to the COVID-19. This is super important. Why is this not plugging in? Why is this not balanced out? There we go. This is the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this shows you we have 23 million that are full-time residents in the state of Florida. And then you add, outside of the last 2 years being weird, and even then 80 million. So you're talking about 100 million people in the state of Florida, and you have about 16 deaths by alligators in a 10-year period, and about 3 major alligator attacks every single year. So it's very rare is what I'm trying to convey to folks. Very rare. So that's why, the idea that she was just mauled by this alligator, is it possible? Yes, it's possible. But is it probable in this particular scenario? Probably not. Probably not. While we were there, I don't think you're being morbid at all, Ronnie girl. I really don't. And yes, I do believe that at this point we would have found something of hers, a shoe, a article of clothing, torn clothing, something. We didn't find any of that, which is making that, possibility almost improbable because of you would have found something by now. In most cases there are. Think about it. The woman that lost her arm, they found the gator. They found that that was the gator. I'm not going to go into graphic details of how they knew that that was the right gator, but that was the right gator, and they had to euthanize it. So even then they can locate the alligator and get more evidence. We'll leave it that. Leave it at that. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, but boars are territorial, but they go after weak prey. So usually they go after prey that's already dead or something that is, you know, they're not going to, if you've ever been out there and you're in a boar den, they can get aggressive, but it's usually to get you out of their area. It's not to eat you. Again, and she does explain this in the interview that the boars are not likely to attack, maul, and eat an entire human being. It's just, it is possible, yes, but improbable. So, and you are right. Hogs will eat literally everything. Let's see what else we got going on here. I don't know. I'm pretty sure boars literally eat everything. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And she was, and I've got to say, in this, yes, that is true. But this is not the case. That was many, many years ago. She was stable. She was fine. She used medications. And even when she got, she felt an episode coming on, she knew it was time to take medication. Her sister only brought that information to help law enforcement understand who they were dealing with and give them some kind of urgency to find her because she needed her medication. Not that she was having an episode, not that she wanted to self-harm herself. I mean, you look at the photos that day, she was happy. She was happy. She was enjoying her day. She was not in a suicidal mission. The woman was not out there, and it like her sister broke down and cried about this whole scenario because she tried to help law enforcement. She was told to tell law enforcement everything, and because she told them everything, they threw their hands up. Oh, she did this to herself. She just did that. That's not how, you know. Shame on law enforcement for that. Shame on law enforcement. I would have been mortified if I told them something about my family. You know what? I tried to commit suicide when I was 15 years old. Does that mean I'm suicidal at 42? No. Absolutely not. So it's very upsetting that these excuses have been used to absolve law enforcement for having to do their job. I'm very disappointed. Again, you know, we try to back the blue, but you keep hearing these stories over and over again. We keep bringing this stuff to light. You know, they're not superhumans. Leave everything to law enforcement. You know, it just isn't happening, folks. It takes the public getting involved and helping. It's a group effort. It takes a village, folks. It takes a village. I agree. Good morning, Miss Robin. Good morning. Good morning, my pal Sal. Good morning, everybody. Like, there's so many people that I see in here. I'm so happy to see all you guys. It's nice to see your names pop up. It feels very welcoming. It feels like home. I love it. So, you know, look at night and day difference between this case and Summerwell's case. Look at the night and day difference from a family that wants to find their family member and a family that doesn't want to find their family member. This is a prime example. This girl here, her sister, Andrea, is out there several times a week hunting and searching for her sister, where you got Don and Candace sitting up on their butts at the top of a mountain getting drunk and using drugs almost every night of the week. It's sick. It's sick. It really is. Innocent until proven guilty, my butt. I'm so sick of that. They can be innocent until proven guilty when they're arrested and they go and go to before the courts. That's when they're innocent until proven guilty. They're not innocent until proven guilty in the investigative stage. No, they surely are not. Everybody's a suspect in the investigative stage. Everybody's presumed guilty until proven innocent in an investigative stage. It's a difference between people knowing the law and people that don't know the law. Excuse my language, not to offend anybody. Thank you. That's too funny. Oh my. Okay, thank you. Yeah, people don't understand. It is a medical condition that is fully treatable with proper medication. And her sister was properly medicated, lived a happy, a normal, and productive life. While it was not a factor, the day or within 2 days of her being lost, I'm going to say she was lost because that's what it is. She's either lost or abducted. I mean, we had other things on our list, but if she was out there in that wilderness, out there in that swampy, marshy habitat for more than a couple days without being properly medicated, I'm pretty sure that some of her symptoms would be returning, causing her more you know what I'm saying? Confusion, disorientation. Thank you, brain. So, it's frustrating. Yes. Yes, it is. And it makes you wonder how many more cases they do this to. This is just one of many. I mean, every time we handle a case and we start covering a case and we start doing investigative journalism on a case and we start figuring out how we can apply pressure and how we can help in a case, it always comes down to, again, law enforcement are human beings, and this idea that our society makes them superhumans and makes them infallible it's got to stop. It's got to stop. They are not superhumans. They are normal people. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like me and you. They make mistakes. Do they do their best? Hands down, I believe they try to do their best. But they make their own judgments because it's easier for them to judge somebody than to put resources in. This case deserved more resources than it received. And it's very disheartening that she got this limited resources. Literally, I was absolutely shocked at the limited resources her and her family got. And it scares me. What if I went missing? I mean, well, I think if I went missing in Manatee County, they would come try to find me. I mean, no matter what people think of me, politically or whatever around here, I don't believe that my sheriff wouldn't put every full weight of his office to come out and find me. No expense. He would find. I believe in my sheriff. I do, but I also know him on a personal basis. These people don't. Even if I didn't like my sheriff, he still knew me on a personal. Even if he didn't like me, he knows me on a personal basis. When you have a personal basis type of thing, I think whether you like them or don't, it makes it harder not to help. Just saying. I could be wrong. Rick, don't leave me behind. My life matters. I love Rick Wells. Rick Wells is our sheriff here in Manatee County, and I absolutely love him. And I think he's just, his dad was the sheriff here for many years, Charlie Wells. My family knew Charlie Wells very well. Change of administration. I know Rick Wells. I know many sheriffs in this town just by, my activism and things of that nature, which I've backed off of quite a bit. the tides have turned with the politics. And so will I be getting involved? Of course I will be. Once I start getting, footing, I'm going to be doing double duty. I'm going to have to be handling these, this true crime stuff while managing the political aspect, because I don't want to lose the grassroots efforts that we started in this county. And anyways, that's just getting a little off course. So no, they don't. And because the prey is much larger, there is that aspect. But, the reason why gators, a lot of people don't realize a lot of the gator attacks by human is because they were fed by humans. And that is a major, major no-no. Never, ever, ever feed a gator. I don't care if they're right there, they look cute, and you just want to toss them the rest of your sandwich. Don't do it. Literally, don't do it. They associate that that food with humans. The next person that comes along, they're going to associate human as food. Don't do it. Yay. I have a friend that I need to unblock, and I don't know what her, I deal with her. She gave me, I got to show you this. I'll be right back. I got to show you this. It was beautiful. I don't share with people too much. Let me take this off real quick, and then we'll get back to it. Excuse me. I don't share too much with people my address, my home address. But look at this. A friend sent me that. I don't want to take it out. I guess it does have a glare, so I will take it out. But it's beautiful. Look at that. And I need to get a frame for it. Pretty, huh? I love it. And that wasn't the only one. I love this stuff. You'll start seeing it behind me. I need to do something about the wall behind me and to figure out what I'm going to do. But as you can see, we're working 2 cases. Which way do I need to go? There we go. It's the opposite on this computer because the way that thing is. Paola, Miranda Rosa, and of course, Summer Wells. And as you see over here, the very first case that we worked hard on was Gabby Petito. It was Gabby Petito. And I'll look at that. I love coffee. This is the other one. Beautiful, huh? I am so lucky. But those are beautiful. Definitely deserving of frames. So I will be getting those. Get this back up. Just see. Yeah, and if anybody has any information of the whereabouts of Paola Miranda Rosa, please, please, please reach out to law enforcement related to this case. But again, I just thought this was really good. I have a lot of stuff, new stuff on Don Wells and Candace Bly related to Summer Wells' case. And with the technical issues that I'm having this morning, I'm probably not going to be able to go through that. We will still try. We're coming up at the 2-hour mark. But since I haven't seen you guys in a really long time, I'm not going to be rushing this live at all. We've been having an amazing time. I have been, if those that are just joining and just subscribing to this channel, don't go anywhere. I have to put a comment timing on these shows. So you have to be a subscriber for so many hours or so many days, depending on how I feel when I wake up. But I think I'm going to keep it set at 5 hours moving forward. You have to be a subscriber to the channel for a minimum of 5 hours before you're able to comment. I have to do that because I love my moderators. They're wonderful, loving human beings that do a great job at moderating. I am so thankful for them, but I also realize that some of the stuff that we do causes them much grief and in their moderating abilities, because we do get some people that come in here that probably shouldn't be in here. And so, don't go anywhere. Please stay with this channel. You will be able to comment. Excuse me. Soon enough. So tomorrow when we go live, If you subscribe today, you will be able to comment tomorrow. I think it's a great tool to use, and I wish I would have done it before. As things start relaxing on this channel with relations to some comments and things like that, we will reduce that to 2 hours. But for right now, it's set at 5 hours. It is working. And my moderators are loving life and able to actually drink coffee with the coffee club. Many of you guys, if you guys are not part of the coffee club, it's just basically meeting us every morning for a couple hours to drink coffee and say hi. We do cover these cases. It's kind of a lighter type of environment. We're not really scripted. I don't have a teleprompter. We just kind of go with it. We have a communication back and forth. I try to answer some of your questions. I try to put some information up. We have wonderful folks that put together informations like Tits Up has done. Love her name. And, we just really, really try hard to make this a drama-free zone that everybody can kind of enjoy. And we've become friends over this little bit of time that we've been together. We've only been live for about 60 days. Our membership has gone through the roof. And, for 60 days to have 7,200 people, it is amazing. We are still growing leaps and bounds. We are absolutely thankful. And it really does. It shows testament of this channel and the things that we do. And of course, if we didn't bring legitimate, great content to each and every one of you, we wouldn't be growing as fast as we are. So we are, and everybody loves everybody here. It's a love fest. It's a love fest. I know the paintings are beautiful. I love them. I love them. Definitely. They definitely warrant nice frames. They definitely warrant nice frames, and they will be in this office so I can look at them every day. We do. We need to add Kai Cry up there. I don't know what I'm going to do. Actually, reached out to OJ Bigby. I was supposed to, try to get some stuff together for him to do something, because I've got a few of his posters here, but something happened and haven't been able to get him on Twitter. So I wanted him to do a nice inspirational piece for Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner, but something happened. So I will have to reach out to a friend of a friend and see about getting with him for that. So thank you. Chronicles of Olivia. I know she's been working hard. She hasn't really released anything. I think she was supposed to release something yesterday. I think she said maybe today. I'm not sure. I will get with her and find out. ICU. I have no earthly idea. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Me too. And I'm probably leaving again. So, but it's all casework and I will be able to, hopefully, depending on, we're going to be in backwoods. So I'm hoping that where we're going to be staying, I'll have some form of internet service so I can go live. I'm hoping I can go live where we're going. But it's going to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week. We will be working in the field and just trying to figure out what's what. So once I get stuff, I will tell you. We're trying to keep some stuff close to home because Olivia's got things going on and we really need her. So we're going to try to take some cases right now just for the next month. I think maybe 2 that are here in Florida that we can cover to bring awareness to them. As many of you guys, Paola Miranda Rosa was hardly anybody knew her. Believe it or not, Olivia made her go viral on TikTok. 1.1 views of her TikTok stuff. And actually, let me see if I can pull that up. Give me just a second, and then we'll get back to this. I can spell TikTok, right? Too early in the morning. Gosh, this stupid mouse. I hate this computer over here.
Okay, after all of that, maybe you guys can understand where I was coming from. Trying to find James.
Let me pull this back.
Oh, yes.
Sorry. There she is. I think it's on her regular channel. Oh, we're up to 1.4 million. Let's bring her back. Let's remove me. That's right. I've got to be here so you guys can hear me talk. Look at that. 1.4 million. She made Paola Miranda Rosa go viral. Let's watch it.
December 18th of 2021. She was swimming in this river, and some hikers took a video of her. That was the last time she was seen.
Did they find something out here?
Those were the orange markers right there that they found. Let me move this back. That they found. Remember, we told you about the orange markers. This is where they believed footprints belonging to Paola Miranda Rosa were. This is what their family did. This is not law enforcement. When I walked out there, I said we recognize this from, you know, Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito. This is how they marked out certain things with orange paint, orange rope. And they did this. The family is preserving evidence in lieu of law enforcement being out there. Law enforcement didn't find this. The family found this.
Maybe because we see orange markers with Brian Laundrie. Mm-hmm. We saw orange markers with Brian Laundrie. There's also a lot of, they could just be sitting here lying in wait.
What about this other side?
That's what I was
That's
talking
what she
about
was talking
earlier,
about.
is
But it's down there. You can see it, but it's deep. It's not really.
today we searched for missing 31-year-old woman Paola Miranda. She was last seen on December 18th of 2021. She was swimming in this river, and some hikers took a video of her. That was the last time she was seen.
Then we got another one that received 106,000.
Walking through these trails.
Off the trail. So we'll just, for now, we'll be focused.
Left her dogs at home, so that's usually, she never leaves her dogs at home from what her father says. And they're looking for help. They're coming out here with a big group on Sunday. You know, many of you guys know that Jonathan, Olivia, and I are not going to be available on Sunday, so we decided to come out here and help out as much as we can today before we leave. But if anybody is in the Osceola area, you know, in and around Orlando, Florida, come out and help this family. You can do your part to help. We're going to be out here for a while. I don't know how long, but it goes way, way back there. The water in the swamp area goes way, way, way back there.
And yes, we were back there.
So the signage here is, you know, it's pretty obvious. It's not, you know, it's not a small sign. It's a pretty big sign to let people know as they're walking through these trails.
And we found out that those signs were placed after Paola Miranda Rosa went missing.
The trail. So we'll just, for now, we'll be focused.
Left her dogs at home, so.
Okay, so that was that one. And then finally, we'll just go to the last one that she made.
This is where she was. We're going to keep looking and pray that we can help her family. They are devastated, and hopefully we can find her or help find any information that can help find Paola.
What possibilities could have happened with her, you know, from her being disoriented, her being injured, her getting, you know, hurt by some wildlife, including gators, her coming into contact with a poisonous snake. She's got some, you know, mental illness, schizophrenia to be precise. Did that have any effect on what she was doing out here and where she went?
Mm-hmm. So here's one problem with the misinformation out there in reference to her in the water. The news were saying that she was in the Waukeba River. This is the Rock Spring River. Right. Waukeba River's way down there. She was actually in here. So the perception was she was swimming in the Wakiva River. This is Rock Spring. It's a different type of waterway. It's Otter Campground is on Rock Spring. If you look on the map, it's not the Wakiva River. So it's a separate waterway.
It's a Paola. And we are searching and diligently trying to find any signs of life or any articles of clothing that will help lead to where she may be. We are working very hard. It's very rough terrain out here. We're getting stuck in swamp-like conditions. And we're just hoping that we're still staying optimistic, folks, but we're still hoping to find some information that leads to finding Paola.
So again, folks, you know, we go out and we work. We work our tails off. A lot of people don't realize, you know, to the extent that we go out and try. Yeah, getting back to that. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So that's no excuse to not throw a criminal in jail. Not to throw a criminal in jail. So let's see. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, I mean, we really go out, you know, oh, we pray for you to have a speedy recovery. That's okay. You can go back and watch it, rewatch it. You can go back and rewatch it. We hope it definitely all goes well, Emma. We love you. We love you. We love everybody in here. We want everybody to have, I know, oh, so heartbreaking. Look at that. So heartbreaking. Mm. Not sure what we're going to do here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. You know, I'm pretty sure that, let me see what date it is. I'm pretty sure we're going to be in the swamp. Let's see. Yeah, I'll try to go live in the morning if I can. I will. Let's see what I got going on here. All right, just reading some information on here. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Yes, please smash the like button. What are we up on the likes right now? How are we doing on the likes? Sounds great. Send some over my way. Send some croissants over my way. Okay, so this was what we had I don't know how long ago that was. What time is it? About 10 minutes ago. So we might be getting up there. So everybody, I believe we can get higher than that. Let's work on it. Olivia, is Olivia in here? Oh, of course not. Of course not. No, she's working. Many people don't know Olivia, her father died of COVID last year, and she works very hard. She's got several different jobs. Many people don't know, you know, so I'm not going to go into her private business, but she works. And again, you know, YouTube is a foundation for us to get our stories out. It is a platform, along with all other social media, to get these stories out, to get what we do out to the public. It's not you know, the priority of this team. We work hard for, especially primarily YouTube, to get these and to be content creators, authentic, true content creators that bring you guys, you know, the true crime aspect while helping, you know, live, you know, and give you raw footage while helping families. You know, it's a little bit of a different model, so to speak. Whereas this is my full-time job. This is not her full-time job, if that makes sense. No, she has never and will never give up on YouTube. We are here for the long haul, and hope you guys stay for the long haul. We've got a lot, we try to take on one case per month, one new case per month. We committed to a few months ago to take on one new case every month. So Paola Miranda Rosa is the case for February. We started it in January. It's January, February, somewhere like that. We still work these cases just like we're still working summer wells. We just every month just add a new name to the cases that we're working. We're still working on Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner. We need to circle back and start getting that. Why haven't we been talking about that? Because we want to go back out there to the Moab area, and we'll not be able to go back to the Moab area until the ice and snow move away, so we can get back up on that mountain. Right now, the mountain is closed. So oh, good. Yep. And Olivia is on TikTok. It's easier she's got 3 minutes. She can slap together something. It's thrown on TikTok. Definitely. She has made this case go viral, and it's the use of social media. This went from Paola being somebody that nobody knew who she was to having millions of people's eyes on her and us pushing this case forward. And we haven't even started strategizing on how we're truly going to help this family. Besides just going out there and searching. One of the things is I want to petition Osceola to put better signage out there in that park. That is scary. We go out in swampy terrain all the time, and for us to get backwards, even for the short bit of time that we were, it's concerning. It's concerning for me. It's concerning for the team, especially people that go out there that aren't familiar with the area, that don't have the skills and abilities that we do. In some cases may not have a cell phone to help direct them back. We had 4. So there's a lot of things that go into it. Good morning. Yeah. And that's a big problem for her. So she gets a little upset about that. But again, we are working on stuff, and police have, but the hiker has not come forward, unfortunately. And it's, Andrea really would like her to come forward, but she hasn't. I keep saying her. I don't know if the hiker was a girl or a guy. So let me clarify that. I think the reason I say her, I don't even know why I say her. Maybe it's because of an internal feeling that I feel like it's a woman. I'm not sure. I don't know who it is. What I can tell you is that Andrea would really like to talk to this person, about what they saw. Apparently, I've got notes. Let me just go through my notes. Give me just a second. Actually, let me, so you guys aren't just looking at nothing and looking at my back wall. Let me go ahead and pull this in, and we'll just watch a little more of this while I go grab my notebook.
Sort of 4 trails, like right there.
But there's no signage.
None.
We almost
that's
walked past.
That's a service road, by the way. So that's not a trail, and the service road is what leads to Otter Camp.
Yeah, we saw tire tracks in the mud, so we were wondering, hey, were rangers out here? Was this law enforcement looking for her? Was it people
looking for her?
So you took vehicles back there. What type of vehicles?
4x4s, Jeeps. We've taken out Polaris with search and rescue, which is what I call golf cart on steroids, because it can go on water, it can go on any terrain. So yeah, we've been out there in car, by foot, we've been out there in kayaks, we've been out there in any humanly possible.
When you go out there, do you go to that Sand Lake parking lot? Is that your base right there?
That's command for us.
It's the command. I noticed there was like a small bathroom house there. But there's not much signage to tell you where to go. There's actually no signs
Your
to tell
signs gave us more direction.
Yes.
The photos of that you guys posted. I mean, you even said search, wrapped it with duct tape and said search. And your be honest with you, your photos that you posted of Paola was out there, and that's how we were able to navigate back there, was from your photos.
Let me ask you something. Back where she was seen in the water there, outer camp, do you know if she was ever there before? You said yeah or no?
I don't believe at Auto Camp. Honestly, I don't believe. She never mentioned it to me. She could have mentioned it to my mom, but my mom knows very little of nature, and they have more conversations about, you know, her everyday whereabouts. But I do know that she's very familiar with the park and Blue Springs, Kelly Park, and all of that. So I do wonder how she made it to Otter Camp. I really do.
Like us, we wondered how we would get there. And you know what? How we got there? We got there. We used our GPS on our phone, so we were pinging ourselves and seeing the little blue dot. Makes me wonder because her phone wasn't with her.
And that's what, honestly, I still question that. I question that so intensely about how. And my mom, as soon as my mom was out there, she's like, how did she get out there with no phone? So it almost makes me feel like she made it back to the car at one point and dropped off her phone or something, because it's just, you know, there is no signage. There is no signage. So either she just had a sense of, I don't know, clearance of how to get there, or I don't know if she Googled it ahead of time. I don't know. It's a really big question mark.
So the possibility does exist that at the time she was seen at 11:30ish, you know, going through there, she could have had her phone and her keys on her and just made it back to her car, and then something happened.
Which is why I want to talk to those independent campers to see exactly how long they were observing her for, or if they literally were camping, cleaning up, ready to leave, or did they see her? You know, I want to know more about.
So here she's explaining how she wants to know more about, you know, what the campers, and that's getting back to one of the questions we had. So the video, based upon the timeline that the family was able to put together and provide law enforcement, and I'm going to emphasize that because I just am quite, it's just crazy. So here's the timeline. So around 8:30 in the morning, Paola actually entered into the area. Around 11:30 a.m. was when that hiker actually videotaped her in the water. Tuesday at 12:21. Now remember, the family actually looked at her bank statement, looked at her tolls, looked at all these different things, and gave this all this information to law enforcement. And law enforcement didn't hardly do a thing. The family went out and used the same information that they provided to law enforcement to help try to find out, you know, trace Paola's steps. And they were able to find the vehicle on Tuesday, December 21st at around 3:30 p.m. That's when the vehicle was found. That was at the time that her sister, the gal here in this video, Andrea, reached out to law enforcement. Some of the tidbits that Andrea has, if you are ever in a situation like this, she says, as soon as you find anything, record, because law enforcement blocks you off. She says she wanted to see if the charger was, was plugged in, exactly where a pin may have been sitting. She wants to see everything because everything happens so fast that she did not and was not able to remember how the inside of the car is. She didn't want to touch anything. The only time they touched anything was to open one door to see if Paola was possibly inside the car. And after that, send it over to me. So again, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, everybody is constantly saying, why are you getting involved, and leave it to law enforcement. Even law enforcement is telling Andrea that they get 1,000. There's only five detectives in Osceola County to deal with missing persons. 5. And they have over 1,000 missing person cases a year. That is insane. And that is across, I guarantee that is not unique to Osceola County. I'm sure that's across the country. That's in every state, every jurisdiction in the country is a similar situation. This is, in my opinion, unacceptable. If we can sit out there and spend millions of dollars hunting down Brian Laundrie, why do we not have resources to help find family members that are lost in these things? Why, if they know that people get lost, and this is not immune, again, and not immune, not special for Osceola County, rather. This happens like when we were out at in Wyoming and Moab, and we sat down with the detectives, not the detectives, it was the Moab police. We were talking to a gentleman. I actually got a picture of him. I would love to show you. I can't. Actually, maybe I can. I think it's on my phone. It's on my phone. Let me pull this back. Just saw it. Because my phone reset and I have all these photos. But anyways, we sat down with him and he explained to us how many people get lost. And it's like, if you know that these people get lost in these areas, why are you not putting up different stuff to help combat some of this, you know? And she brought up a good point. Trail cams. There we go. Moab, Utah. We sat down with this gentleman right here, sat down with us and talked to us about Gabby Petito, you know, the whole incident that happened in Moab. You know, we sit down with people. People don't understand, you know, I'm not just a person with a crazy woman with a bullhorn. That's the last ditch effort we have when we are tired of, you know, screwing around. We do due diligence. We go to law enforcement. We go to state attorney's offices. We meet with people, witnesses, everything. We find, you know, we really work very hard to find the information. We go out and search for these people. We cross rivers and with plastic bags, ice cold rivers with plastic bags around our legs just to be able to get to a certain point. We do what it takes to get the job done. And sorry about that. Still trying to learn the new computer. Sorry, guys. But you see, I mean, this family is literally, yeah, her car was found. Her car was found on December 21st. Let me see what else I got in here that might be of interest. I mean, we just notes. Like we got. Oh, another thing is that they had the cadaver dogs, sits of specific dogs. Nothing got a hit. Nothing got a hit. So it's really everything was not done humanly possible. We know that. They spent 5 weeks looking for Brian Laundrie. They spent 2 days looking for Paola. You know, I understand resources, you know, stuff like that. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Think about it. What would this be acceptable if it was your child, your sister, your brother, your mother, your father? Would 2 days be acceptable to you? Would it? Another way you can support the Bullhorn Betty channel is by purchasing merchandise like this lovely coffee club cup. I see you got the tumbler. She says it keeps her coffee nice and warm all day long. But see, the problem here is that, you know, we understand that law enforcement only has a certain amount of resources, but they have partnerships with all of these different groups, right? All these different groups that search, that have dive teams, that have and these are nonprofit organizations that don't charge law enforcement anything. They go out there for free of charge. They were never activated in this case. It was Andrea that had to get these things activated in this case. You know, we are going to shine a light. You know, we want people to get, and it's not to condemn law enforcement. This is not what we're trying to do. Again, we back the blue. We love law enforcement. We follow law when we're out there in the field. We follow law enforcement's direction explicitly. We work very hard to follow the law. This is and it's not to expose them either. We use this platform to let people know they're human beings. They're not superhumans. They make mistakes. That law enforcement can, is this, they do great. They have great training. They still screw up. They're still human beings. Does this make them bad people? Of course not. Are there some bad apples? Of course there are, as in everything. So, but you see the big difference. And one of the reasons why I really like to showcase this active case right now, and why I'm dovetailing it back to Summer Wells, is you see the difference between a family that has nothing to hide and wants to find their loved one, and someone that has things to hide and could care less about finding their loved one. We asked Don Wells, how often are you calling to check on the status of Summer Wells? You're talking about a child. There is Andrea is on the phone with law enforcement, texting them, calling them multiple times to get even just a middle school response from them. And then you got somebody like Don Wells that doesn't pick up the phone for months. And they have a baby missing. It's sick. To me, that is sick. Yeah, many people would be happy with us. Even some of the people that don't understand why we do what we do would be calling us if they're family members and they had to deal with law enforcement. Because I'm telling you, I guarantee that Andrea speaking to me would not have been her first option. But I believe that after she looked at my page, see what I did, and realized she was getting nowhere with law enforcement, did she offer to give us a chance. We are out there helping. We'll be out there to help again. We are here to help. We're not here to hinder. We're not here to poo-poo on investigations. We're here to legitimately help. And in many cases, we do. Do we make mistakes? Of course we do. Why? Because we're human. I'm not a superhuman either. I just have my heart in the right spot and do the work that I can do, that I know how to do. I use my experiences, life lessons as a guide and a beacon to what I do. Yeah, we heard about it. Actually, we knew about that. I want to say a few days after we left there from that encounter, people were sending us information on that about his son. Yeah. And now, of course, now it's been a couple weeks. It's all over everybody's YouTube page, but we kept that under wraps. But I think the reason why we didn't expose it is because we thought it's disgusting, but we didn't see where it's had anything to do with the disappearance of Summer Wells. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. The only time Don picks up the phone to call the cops is when we're in town looking for his daughter. I mean, seriously. It's funny, but it's sad. It's funny, but it's not funny. I don't know what else to say. That's the only time he calls law enforcement is when we're in town. Doesn't have time to call law enforcement for his own daughter that's missing. But let us show up and start looking for his daughter. Oh my God, we're trespassing. We're harassing him at his property, at his place of employment. I do. I will. But again, it's a last ditch effort. We don't go in there with guns ablazing. We do fact finding. We try diplomatic approaches to everything first. That really is the last resort. It really is the last resort. there's more coming out about that. I need to get with Jonathan this morning and discuss some things with him. But at any rate, we're going on the top of the hour, top of 3 hours. And just want to tell each and every one of you, hold on, let's see what we got going on here. Okay, yeah, I got it. I see the 2 boys now. Thank you. Sad. Maybe TBI can be more helpful in this case. Who knows? I'm so butthurt over TBI's lack of motivation and you got differences. Like you got a place like Florida and Georgia that don't play with this garbage. Those parents would have been in jail for anything they could throw their butts in jail for. And you got a place like Tennessee that just wants to sit on their hands and do absolutely nothing. Oh, we're searching. Really? Okay. Yeah, keep that up. Keep that up. I just want to, I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to have to start calling TBI out. We're going to have to start doing something a little more. This is getting ridiculous and unacceptable, in my opinion. It just is. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to try to get this computer up and, fixed, all my permissions set on it, so we don't have the issues we had tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow morning. I'm trying to still figure out a good time. Some people say 5:30 in the morning is a little too early for them. I try to make it around 6:30. It might be 7. We're still playing around with times to find out what is the best time for everybody involved. I still want to include the other parts. You got to remember we have other people from around the world that watch this, in Australia, the UK, New Zealand. And I got to try to find a little bit for everybody. So at any rate, I'm gonna let you guys say goodbye. We'll start working on some more of the interview and breaking it down for you guys tomorrow. We're going to continue to discuss. Hopefully, I have everything up for the explosive information that you guys need to watch related to the interview with Don Wells. Those are all going to be coming up. So we're going to keep working. Yes, I know, Miss Robin. We are hopeful for that. We are hopeful for that. We hope that the judge takes us seriously. I mean, the whole world is watching. The whole world is watching Hawkins County. And I got to say, it's making my stomach just turn upside down watching the crap show going on in Hawkins County. I'm sorry. I have lost literally all respect for Ronnie Lawson to do a good job. I really have. I don't blame the officers under him because at the end of the day, it's his responsibility to make sure his officers are doing their job properly, and he is not. So, Hawkins County, the people that are watching, if you guys have had enough, vote him out. 2022 is coming up. Find a new sheriff. It's time for a new sheriff. I'm sorry. One that listens to the community and says we are sick and tired of these heathens running over Hawkins County. Throw their butts in jail, clean that county up, get the drugs and the alcohol. I mean, think about how many times Don Wells has been on those back roads drunk as a skunk. He could have killed somebody. When's enough? So I guess somebody's got to die. I mean, Summer's disappearance isn't good enough for him. Anyways, guys, God bless. Make it a great day. I'm sorry I wasn't here yesterday, but I'm here today and I'll be here tomorrow. Thursday, I'll probably have to go live from the vehicle, from the car, because Thursday we're hitting the road first thing in the morning. So guys, I love you. God bless. Make it a great day. That's not what it says, Biscuits and Crazy. It's not even a law yet. You should understand how, legislative process works. So, but good for you. I'm glad you can read. Have a great day.